What's up, guys? In this video we're going to be looking at the top 3 stocks and penny stocks that have a potential to go to the upside and even double. I'm going to be going over in detail about these companies and what price points that we can use to get involved with these companies, guys. I'm also going to be going over the stock market, exactly what happened in the stock market today. One are important reports that could potentially affect the stock market for tomorrow, guys. So make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video. I'm going to be covering all of this information in detail. So now let's get right into the video. Alright guys, so before we get into the video, make sure you like the video. If you have any questions, make sure you drop it in the comment section below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, guys. So yesterday we talked about exactly if the stock market was actually about to crash or was it just a pullback, So as you can see over here today, we actually recovered, some of the losses that we took from yesterday. So as you can see over here, the overall sectors and the entire stock market were actually positive and went to the upside, except for the main companies like Amazon that were leading the way, that are in the NASDAQ, that was like super good. They're the one that's actually had a bad day today. So Amazon, as you can see, was only down, 0.64%. Netflix was also the one that was leading the way in the past, but it's down only 0.12%. And also the other banks in the financial sectors, we talked about some of the banks are going to be reporting earnings. So we got Wells Fargo report earnings, and that was pretty bad. And Citigroup also report earnings that was really bad too. So as you can see over here, they're down. Now Wells Fargo down 4%, Citigroup down 3.93% to the downside, guys. But we are in a range between, as we talked about it yesterday, between 297 and right around the top as we have like 323. So we're still in this range, which is bouncing around this area. And yesterday we had a nasty pullback to the downside after it kind of tested the highs. And today we basically recovered, almost the majority of it. The majority of the cases are still rising. In Florida, it actually hit all-time highs in that state. And also, we talked about California yesterday, closing the gyms and other, businesses that recently opened up. So now let's move on to the stocks, that we're going to be looking at. So before we move on to the stock, guys, I want to just go over just a recap of the stocks that we talked about in the past. We got VXRT. This is one of the stocks that we covered several times, and they actually had 40% to the upside. It kind of broke out of the $12 area, and it added another $4.85 to the upside, guys. So these stocks that I'm going to be talking about is basically all a potential swing trades. So what a swing trade is you buy the stock and you kind of hold it with anticipation that in the future there's going to be positive news that is going to be released that can help the stock to significantly move to the upside. So that was exactly what when I was talking about this stock, like way past, like in May and in June and then even in April, when it was like a penny stock, is that we're anticipating that maybe there's going to be positive news, this company's going to progress. And eventually, they started releasing positive news, they're progressing. So these stocks, you need to give them some time for them, to develop, the vaccines they're working on, some of the, the phase 1 trials, or if they're in preclinical trials. You have to really have to sit in these stocks for a while. That's one of the downside of it, is just you have a capital that is locked into these stocks. So, but you get rewarded, so that is one of the positive things, is that when these stocks potentially go to the upside, like you will get like 2, 3, 400% returns really quickly, because this stock eventually went from $4 to $8. That is like 100%, and then from 8, now it's like $16. So that's like, it went up significantly within a short period of time. So, and also the 1-year price target for this company also got upgraded. We talked about yesterday. It went to $22 from one of the analysts. So that's really fantastic to see, to look at it. But is there potential for this company to the upside? Yes, of course. But right now it's kind of over, it kind of went up a lot in a short period of time. So the ideal price point to get involved in is probably going to be if it pulls back to $12. That's going to be the area to look at. But if you're still holding it, you need to have a plan exactly if you're going to take your profits and things like that. We also talked about VBIV in our past videos of the COVID stocks. So this also had a really solid day today. It's up 18.68%, which is a 71 cents to the upside. And it kind of broke out of the area that is just consolidating over here. So that's really fantastic to see also. And we also talked about OGEN, and this company, actually, when we were talking about it, was recently it broke out. It was kind of right around 92 cents area, and it had multiple days where it went up to, close to $1.30. Now it's kind of pulling back and testing the area of where it broke out of. So this is a great price point if you want to get involved in the stock, because now it's kind of consolidating, or let's see if it actually stays above this price point, this is a great area to get involved in it, because if it respects this price point, we can use this price point as a support area to get involved in this specific company. But it kind of broke out, pulled back, and now you just anticipate if there's going to be positive news that can come out in the future, if you believe this company is going to kind of progress with their vaccine trials and any of other thing that's going to proceed in the future. So all of these stocks that I'm going to be talking about in this specific videos are potential swing trades. So be super careful. You have to do more research about them before you get involved in them, because you have to allocate your capital within these stocks for a while for positive news, for potential positive news that's going to be released within the next few weeks or a few months. So the first stock that we're going to be talking about today is going to be ticker symbol IMV. Now, this company is developing a new class of immunotherapies and vaccines. As you can see from the website, they are a clinical stage biopharmaceutical company developing a new class of cancer immunotherapies and vaccines to treat infectious disease such as COVID-19. And we're deeply committed to making immunotherapy and vaccines more effective, more broadly applicable, and more widely available to patients. So that is the mission statement. They're still in the clinical trials, as you can see from their statement over here. But now let's look at exactly what is the good price point and what is the potential, price points that we can use to get involved in this company, guys. As you can see over here, I had a very solid breakout to the upside. It went past to the $5 resistance area that it had today, but unfortunately it did not close above that price point. Kind of, as you can see, kind of opened at $6 and kind of, went a high of like $6.90, and it kind of sold off to, the lows of like $4.20. It closed around $4.63. So it's below the $5 resistance area over here, but it kind of went past to one of the resistance that it had over here, which is close to $3.90. So it's kind of right in the middle of this area. So we'll see exactly what's going to happen within the next few days. If there's a potential of this company is going to respect the price point and hold the gains that it made, this huge gap up that it had, but it really had a positive day to the upside, mainly because of their rapidly progressing on a coronavirus development. So what exactly happened is that they are a Canadian-based company, and they're progressing in the development of DPX COVID-19 vaccines candidate against the SARS-CoV-2. So they are going to be looking at for a potential phase 1 trial in the fall, and then the next year it's going to be for potential phase 2 trials. So they're actively progressing. So if they can go to phase 1, phase 2 trials in the future, when they announce those newses, this potentially can spike up to the upside. So that's why it's really potential good swing trade opportunity for the next few weeks, even months to come. And the other important thing we need to look at is going to be the share outstanding of this company is 61 million shares available. The share of the float is 54.82. So this is really kind of relatively low. And if there's a positive news that can come out, this can definitely spike up to the upside a lot and really give an opportunity to kind of go 100, 200% to the upside. As you can see, within one day, it went up like 54.33%, and insider ownership, institutional ownership is 19.53%. So it's kind of relatively low, but however, still institutions own these companies like hedge funds and banks and things like that. So that is one of the important things we need to look out for. So now let's move on to the second stock, guys. All right, guys, before we move on to the second stock, so make sure you like the video. If you have a question, make sure you drop in the comment section below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. The second stock we're going to be looking at is going to be Rigel stock, and it recently just jumped today 25% after announcing that UK trial for possible COVID-19 treatment. So this is not a vaccine, this is just a treatment that they're working on to help with the spread of the pandemic. So as you can see over here, on Tuesday, after announcing that the drug used to treat an autoimmune disorder will be tested in a clinical trial in the United Kingdom as a treatment of COVID-19 pneumonia. So this is one of the things that we have to pay attention to, because some of the companies that we talked about that are actively working on a vaccine can potentially have more impact or more movement to the upside compared to these companies that are actually working on a treatment. I know they're both, trying to fight the pandemic and to fight, the virus, but however, the vaccines are the one that's people are really, really super focused. Governments are and other institutions are like super important, looking forward to find solutions. So they're probably going to be the ones that's going to be giving a lot of fundings to them because they want the vaccine very, very much. But still, these companies also can definitely move to the upside too, but not as much of the vaccine stocks, So these are just companies that are working on finding treatments. As you can see over here, the stock volume just drastically increased. On average, it trades only 2 million shares, but today it traded 255 million shares. And also the 1-year price target for this company is $7.17. There's definitely room to go to the upside. It's up 90%. So now let's look at exactly what are the price point levels that we can use to get involved in this company if we can actually want to place a swing trade for this company. As you can see over here, it kind of broke out of like the $3 resistance area that I had over here, which is the $3 area, and it blew past that. Now it's at $4.13. So this is a company that is kind of way past, the price point of the resistance area that we can use to get involved in it. So let's just give it like a few days. And if it can just stay above that, or if it can kind of like come down, if it can sell off, give us a very deep buying opportunity if you want to get involved in it. But right now it's kind of like in the middle of nowhere, and it's kind of super far from the price point that we want to use as a risk area. But we can still, if you believe in this company, it's going to be a potential move that can happen in the future. You can just buy a few shares and average up as the price continues to go down, or you can average up when it goes up, and you can potentially have built a very solid average price in the future before a potential spike that can happen in the future. So that could be a very good plan for you if you want to get involved in this company. But as you can see over here, the share outstanding is basically higher compared to the other companies that we talked about. It's like 168 million shares available, and institutional ownership is 90.2%. So that is a lot. So this institution ownership is a lot. There's a lot of hedge funds, banks owning this specific company. That is great to know because the price movements are not going to be this drastic. As you can see over here, the average true range in a day, the stock only moves like 38 cents. So that is really, really tiny compared to these major like VXRT, VPIV, they move a lot, so this company is really, really not moving that much. So if you're going to buy and hold it, you're just going to be, waiting for a while for this company to make a big move like this, so just be aware of that information, guys. But now let's move on to exactly what is the important economic reports that's going to be reported for July 15 that could potentially affect the markets, to the upside, to the downside. At 8:30 a.m. we got the import price index. This is going to be for the month of June, and the previous month was 1%. We also have at 9:15 a.m. we got the industrial production report for June, and the previous month was 1.4%, and the median forecast is 4.1%. Also, we have at 9:15 a.m. the capacity utilization. It's going to be for the period of June. The previous one was 64.8%, and the median forecast is 67.7%. And also at noon tomorrow, you got the Philadelphia Fed President Patrick Harker speaks. So these are the economic reports for tomorrow, guys. So keep an eye on these specific timelines. If you are going to be getting involved and potentially making a day trade or swing trade, make sure you be aware of these economic reports that's going to be coming out tomorrow. So hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you have any questions, make sure you drop in the comment section below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. And don't forget to smash the like button, guys. But I'll catch you guys on another video tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.